Last month, are we still waiting?
Yeah, as he said, we are still waiting.
Thank you.
So are we still waiting?
Jigba, we are waiting still.
La veían, no.
No sé si va a venir tú. Pinche le tiene chuada para no agarrar mis manos. Porque le no me más ya.
Is that there's no lectures?
Ibrahim, the instruction was for us to wait, so we'll wait. The hours of the lecture is still on, so we'll wait for the lecturer.
So that's one. Sorry,
Yeah,
sir.
so
I thought he said 20 minutes or so. And if the 20 minutes has elapsed, please, I think there is need for you to reach out back to him to see whether, to know exactly what is happening. Just please reach out to him.
hello, class. Hello, class. I've reached out to the doc.
Okay.
He said, he will join us. Please. Say his network has like given him headache, but he has resolved it. He will join us soon.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right. Yeah.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Guys, so sorry. Network has really been so challenging at my own end. Initially, it was the host that was finding it difficult to actually make us come online also. And then after that, my network has really been so challenging. Thank God I'll be able to hook back now. So good morning to you all.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah,
Morning.
so
Morning, sir.
Morning, sir.
yeah, good morning. Yeah, so let's go straight away to our lectures for the day. Yeah, so today we are going to look at projected aids and non-projected aids in communication. So generally, communication in human services include fields such as social works, health education counseling, community outreach and development programs. That is to say that communication can actually be applied in all these fields. And effective communication is vital. Are you with me?
Good morning, HOD. Welcome.
Please, are you with me?
Yes, we are with you, sir. Continue, sir.
Yes, sir, we're with you.
Yeah, are you with me?
We are with
Okay.
you, sir.
So
We can hear you, sir. Go on, sir.
Okay.
We are here, sir. We are here.
Okay. So effective communication is vital for delivering services. Okay, thank you. Thank you. So effective communication is vital for delivering services, raising awareness, changing behaviors, and then educating communities. That is, for any communication process to be effective, it is vital for actually delivering some services, trying to raise awareness, maybe on some issues in the community. It could be an environmental issue, it could be a health issue, it could be a social issue, and all of that. Effective communication can also be used in trying to communicate to people, help in actually changing the behavior in an area to actually educate people. Do you understand? Are you with me?
We are here, sir. We are here.
Okay, so what are these projected aids? By definition, the projected aids are communication tools that rely on light and optical projection devices to display information usually on a screen or wall. They are used for the following purposes. It could be used for teaching, training, mobilizing people, and they are typically what? Visual or audiovisual, and often combine the use of what? Text, images, video, sound, and animation. So what we're saying is that by projected aids, we mean those tools that can actually be used, those optical tools that can be used with the aid of what? Light, to display information on the screen. And this information can be in form of text, images, video, sound, animation, and all of that. They can be used especially when dealing with low literacy audiences. Mind you, this kind of deploy the use of what? Of maybe animations, pictures, and all of that, and even the visual. People can actually see those pictures, the animations, and all of that. And so even if it is people of low literacy level, they should be able to understand maybe the pictures, and all of that. So it is basically used in dealing with low literacy audiences. When you know that educationally, your audience, they are not really so good in terms of maybe their educational level. They have low literacy rate and all of that. You decide now to go for what? Projected aids. So what are these types of projected aids used in human services? We have PowerPoint presentations. I think you know PowerPoint presentations.
Yes, sir. E.g.,
Yes,
like the
sir.
one like the
Sorry?
projection you're displaying now.
Like what I'm displaying now is a PowerPoint. Then we have a multimedia projector. Do you know that? Multimedia projector. Do you know multimedia projectors?
You throw more light, sir.
Okay, multimedia projector. They are project computer-based content, which you can use. In fact, you can use it to actually make a PowerPoint presentations. And then apart from that, you can use it to actually maybe present the text, objects, and all of that, animations, and even the audio. Do you understand? You know, in some churches or religious gatherings or so, most times they use multimedia projectors. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Are you? Yeah, they use multimedia projectors in actually project most of the contents they want to pass across, especially to large audience of people. Then we have the video and then video films, or DVDs. You know DVDs, right? Do you?
Yes, sir. We do.
Okay, then we have overhead projectors. Overhead projectors can also be used for PowerPoint presentations too. We have slide projectors. We have digital storytelling tools, which combines narration, pictures, music, and video. Then we have interactive whiteboards, which is a very good example. The very good example is that of smart boards, projecting and then interacting with computer data. Do you know what we mean by interactive boards? Interactive whiteboards. Do you know about interactive whiteboards?
No, sir.
Okay. Interactive whiteboards can actually be used. So we know of the normal conventional, maybe blackboards, right?
Yes, sir.
The difference is that this one is electronically controlled. It uses what? It uses light to power it. And it actually has most of the content inbuilt in it. Like maybe if it is maybe mathematics, you have mathematical formulas there and all of that. All those things, they are inbuilt there. They could be used for educational purposes and then for presentations. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what are the applications of these projected aids in human services? They could be used in health and wellness education. And what is the use here? The projected videos or presentations showing how to prevent malaria, manage diabetes, promote breastfeeding, or demonstrate basic hygiene. That is, in using this, I told you that this aid, the projected aids can be used, which is actually a communication aid, can be used in different spheres of life. And so here we're talking about using it in education and wellness education, where you try to project videos or maybe some presentations in terms of text, in the form of text and all of that, to show how malaria can be prevented, diabetes can be managed, and then you can promote breastfeeding and all of that. The benefit is that the visuals help to convey technical health information clearly. You know, as you are presenting it, it helps since the audience can actually view it physically. It helps them to see how the technical person is actually making the presentations on how to carry out such a skill. Do you understand? Are you following?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then it can also be used in social training and orientation. Here, we use things like PowerPoint slides and videos in workshops to train social workers or volunteers. And the benefit of this is that it enhances what? Engagement and improves knowledge retention. You know, when you physically see what somebody is talking about, there is more room for retention, for you to actually remember, even much, much later. Because you have actually seen the person maybe demonstrating, not just talking, but demonstrating it physically. And so it sticks for a very long time. Then we have the use for what? Community mobilization and sensitization, where short films or animations can be projected in rural communities about maybe child protection, gender-based violence, human trafficking, or rights awareness, trying to intimate people on their rights. So the benefit is that it encourages dialogue and community involvement. Are you following?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then it can also be used in counseling and therapy, where the therapeutic videos or visual aids projected during group counseling sessions are being are being used. And the benefit is that it actually helps. It helps to break the ice, stimulate emotional expressions, and offer relatable stories, where people now try to relate what they are seeing to their own practical lives. What has actually happened to them compared to maybe what they are showing. They try to actually relate it and also relate it to their own individual lives in practical terms. It can also be used in disaster risk communication. The animated projections and simulations can be used to educate people about floods, epidemics, or emergencies. And it makes abstract or complex risk understandable. So here, what we are saying is that all those abstract terms, you know, they are talking about flood. What is it all about? But practically, if it is demonstrated with the use of this aid, this projected aid, it helps people to practically understand what they are talking about and what the risk of flood in this case could be, not just in abstract terms, that people will be Yeah. Hope you are there.
Yes, sir.
We are with you, sir.
Oh, okay. Sorry, the network today really seems to be so bad, but well, let's manage it. Okay, so the next one is inclusive school and inclusive education, where the digital content to support students with special needs or behavioral disorders is being projected with the aid of this projected aids. So what we're saying here is that there may be some, in terms of maybe educational purposes, there may be some students or some persons that may actually need some of these aids to actually understand better. Do you understand? Take, for instance, for someone who is deaf, by the time you actually show the picture, project pictures, that will help such a person to really understand much better. So what are the advantages of these projected aids in human services? What are the advantages? The first one is that of visual engagement. You know, the people actually, you expose people to actually see the pictures and the text physically. And so there is that room for what? Visual what? Engagement. You engage the people visually. And then there is clarity and consistency. Because we are projecting it, the pictures are there, the texts are there, so it becomes clearer to the audience. And then there is mass outreach. A large group of people can actually be reached with these projected aids. Then, in terms of time efficiency, you can actually reach out to a very large number of persons within a short time. There won't be need for you to maybe move from point A to point B and all of that, just to disseminate the same information. With the help of these projected aids, it becomes easier for you actually to make presentations or those projections to a lot of people or large audience within a very short period of time. Then another advantage is that of multimedia capability. What do you understand by multimedia capability here as an advantage of projected aids? Any idea?
I think using sounds, pictures, videos all at the same time.
Yes. Simply put, audio visual. The people could see and then they could hear what is being projected. So it's actually an advantage. And I told you that what you present to somebody and the person physically see it sticks more than maybe what you just tell the person without him seeing it physically or maybe the picture of it. Then there is room for interactivity. Yes, as the people watch the presentation also, there is room for that interaction. There is room for the interactions that people can actually maybe send in their feedback and it can actually be attended to. What their reactions are, they can actually send it, and then those reactions or feedback can actually be what looked into. Then there is an advantage of what? Cultural relevance. Yes, in using projected aids, as much as possible, there is need for you to actually be mindful of the cultural bias of such group of persons you are attending to. By the time you now try to create a cultural relevant environment, not things that are actually against their culture. Because by the time you do that, it becomes difficult for them to actually understand and follow what you are talking about. Is that clear? Are you
Yes,
with
sir.
me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is there
Yeah,
any
with you, sir.
question? Any question?
Sir, I have a question.
Please go ahead.
So all these disadvantages you mentioned, that is visual. Visual
Sorry.
has to do with sighting.
Sorry, is the advantages. Sorry, is the advantages.
Okay, all these advantages you mentioned, they
Yes.
are they will say visual engagement. Okay.
Yes.
It's okay. It must be
Using,
like
using projected aids.
viewing, or they are acting a drama like that. Is that what you mean, sir?
Yes. And then such a drama can be presented with the use of these projected aids. Do you understand?
Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Something like maybe overhead projector, videos, and all of that.
Okay.
Yes.
Then what about mass out? Okay. Okay, clarity and consistency.
Yes. Clarity.
So if you
and
operate on all of them, it will be fine, sir.
Okay, for the visual engagement, I told you that since you are using a visual, you can actually project the pictures for people to actually see. Do you understand? Even the text, okay, and all of that. So that is actually visual engagement. You try to engage your audience visually. They could physically see what you are presenting to them. You are not just talking.
Yes,
do you
sir.
understand? So that is for visual engagement. Then for clarity and consistency, because they are seeing the pictures and even the text, there is that room for clarity. Unlike maybe when you are maybe talking about it without really presenting it in text or pictures. If you see a picture, you know that it's clear enough that this is a picture of what you are seeing, right? Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Unlike if somebody is talking to you, it could be in abstract terms. You may be wondering what the person is actually talking about. But then by the time you see the picture physically, there is that clarity there. Therefore, the mass outreach, I say that you can actually reach a large audience within a very short period of time. And in fact, the next one is time efficiency, where within a very short period, you can actually reach a large number of persons. And then for more multimedia capability, I told you that this is a combination of different media, audio, visual, right? People could physically see it and then hear what you're talking about. Then there is also room for what? Interactivity. As the people are watching, or as people are being exposed to these projected aids, there is that room for interactivity, for people to actually send back maybe their feedback so that it can be worked on. So there is that interaction that occurs, right? When using projected aids. Then for cultural relevance, I told you that in most cases, you try as much as possible to domesticate what the presentation you are making. so that people can actually understand. By the time you now bring in something that is alien to maybe their cultural understanding also, it will actually affect it. But as much as possible, when using projected aids, you try as much as possible to be mindful of their cultural background, so that they can actually follow. Is that clear?
It's okay, sir.
Okay. So what are the limitations and challenges of using a projected aids? The first one is there is a high dependency on what? Technology. There is high dependency on what? Technology. You know, for you to use things like what? Projectors and all of that, the videos, it requires some level of what? Technology. Do you understand? It requires some level of technology. And where such technology is lacking, it becomes difficult using what? These aids. Then there is a problem of electricity requirement. I told you these projected aids, in most cases, they use what? Electricity, light. And so where there is no light, it becomes difficult to actually use them. Their use now becomes limited where there is no light or absence of light. Then another limitation is that of cost. The cost of actually procuring these projected aids could be high at times, and then it may not be within the reach of some persons. So it becomes a challenge. Then high technical skills are being needed. The skills to actually maybe operate some of these, the projected aids, is it multimedia and all of that? Once you don't have the skills to actually that are needed in using this, it will actually limit your use of such projected aids. Then there is a limited portability. What do you understand by this limited portability? Any idea from anybody? Limited.
Yes, they are not easily carried along.
Sorry?
They are not easily carried along.
Okay, yes.
Yes,
it becomes difficult actually carrying them along because of the size and all of that. Assuming maybe
creation.
Sorry?
Of the size of the potter creation.
Yes. Yeah, so it becomes difficult actually moving them. It's not always easy moving such devices. Then there is that limitation of what? Equipment maintenance. It's always difficult maintaining them. And when they break down, to fix them or repair, in most cases becomes an issue because it requires some skills, maybe technology, in actually maybe fixing or repairing such. Is that clear?
Yes,
Is
sir.
that clear? So
Yes,
let's
sir.
look at the best practices for effective use of projected aids. The best practices for effective use of projected aids. Yes,
Sir,
there's a question.
Under the limitation and challenges, you skip equipment maintenance.
Equipment maintenance.
Yeah, you talked
Yes, the
about.
last one.
No, I did. I didn't skip
Okay,
it.
sir. Okay, sir.
But then, well, by equipment maintenance, I told you that this equipment, they actually require the use of what technology. And by the time they break down, if the technology is not there, if the skills, the manpower is not there to fix it, it becomes an issue, because with that, it therefore means that you won't be able to use it. So
Okay.
actually a fundamental issue in actually using most of these projected aids, because by the time they break down, it becomes so difficult in actually maybe fixing them and all of that. Is that clear?
Okay. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, welcome. Okay. So let's look at the best practices for effective use of projected aids. The first thing you need to do in using these projected aids is you need to know your what? Your audience. You need to know your audience. And how do you call this? In just simple way, how do you tag this? How do you call this? Audience analysis, right? Do you know what audience analysis means? Do you know what audience analysis means?
That is what the target population have to say about a particular thing.
Okay, not really quite.
Or
By
the needed feature,
by
the needed
okay,
the needed feature or the characteristics of the audience that you are trying to engage.
exactly. You know, if you are to engage some persons, those group of people, it could even be one person or so. The one person is your audience, or the group is your audience. Now, there is every need for you to carry out audience analysis. You need to know your audience. How do you know your audience? You know your audience in terms of maybe their socioeconomic background, their literacy levels, and all of that. What is actually their own level of education? What is their literacy rate? What is their literacy level? What is the cultural background? So you need to tailor visuals and language to audience what? Literacy level and what? Cultural background. So under audience analysis, that is knowing your audience, that is the most important thing you need to do there by tailoring visuals and language to audience's literacy level, their cultural what? Background. Then the next thing is that you need to keep it what? Simple. You need to keep it simple. So what are you keeping simple here? Yeah, the question is, what are you keeping simple here?
Your language of communication. The message.
Yes, the message. Your language of communication.
Which you are passing through.
Yes, exactly. You know, yesterday I was telling you about maybe horizontal kind of communication process and then the vertical. Yes, if it is maybe the kind of a horizontal kind of relationship, yes, both parties are actually on the same page. They have maybe same level of understanding and all of that. But in this case, where maybe the person making the presentation, the level of understanding is not the same with the audience, you need to keep it simple by trying as much as possible in avoiding some technical terms. If there are some technical terms, you try as much as possible to break it down to the level that they will really understand. Is that clear? Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
by
sir.
keeping it simple, you need to avoid too much text or overly technical content. Use images as much as possible so that they can physically see what you're talking about. Use icons and then short messages, not very long messages. Just short messages, brief and straight to the point. Then the next practice is that of test the equipment before use. I told you these tools use electricity. In most cases, they use electricity. These are projected aids. And then they require high level of technology and then skills to use them. So it is advisable for you to actually ensure that you test them. You test them before use. By the time you test those aids, projected aids, you discover whether they are actually functional or not. If they're not, you try to fix them before using it for any session. And so for test equipment before use, what the major thing we're saying here is that ensure proper setup and power backup being in place before the session. The next practice is blend with interaction. You need to pause for questions, group discussions, or role play to reinforce what key messages. Just as I'm facilitating you, intermittently I will ask whether there are questions or not, so that there could be that interactivity between us. Yes, that makes it more effective. The use of the aids, the projected aids, more effective. Is that clear? Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
I was lost,
Okay.
sir. No life to you.
You are lost?
Yes, sir.
Is it about blend with interaction, or you are lost in terms of network, or how?
No, if you're the explanation on the test equipment before use.
Testing the equipment before use. I've told you that this is light and then some high technological level of use. So for you to actually use them, it is better for you to actually what? Test them. If the light is there, the light may be there, but the current may not be enough to actually carry it. By the time you test, you know whether the current is enough. The current is enough to carry it and all of that. By the time you actually, please, can we have one class? Yeah, so by the time you actually test it, you know whether it is functional or not. And then to blend with interaction, I say that you need to pause intermittently for questions and answers. If they have some issues, you can even group the audience into smaller groups, or there could be role playing to actually reinforce some of the messages you want to pass across. The next practice is ensure visibility and audibility. Here you need to place the projector and screen in a way that everyone can see and hear clearly. I think that is straightforward enough. Then use culturally sensitive materials. Ensure projected images and narratives respect local beliefs and values. By the time these materials that you are using actually respect the local beliefs and values, it helps in people actually understanding better what you are talking about. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Then you need to evaluate the impact. That is, after the whole session, you need to assess what the audience have learned or how they feel about it. Was it really worth it? Was the session actually, the time spent, was it really worth it? Did you really carry your audience along? Did they actually learn from that session? So you try to actually carry out some evaluation at the end of the whole session. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So let's look at the non-projected aids in human communication. So the non-projected aids are visual, auditory, or tactical materials that do not require any projection or technological devices to be used. Do you understand? Unlike the projected aids that we say require the use of light, electricity, power, these non-projected aids will be visual, auditory. What do you understand by auditory? Any idea?
Audio sound.
Yes, audio. It's simply about audio. So what you are saying
Something
is,
that has to do with hearing. Something that has to do with hearing.
Yes. It therefore means that it has to do with what? Hearing. So what you are saying is the non-projected aids, they could be visual, auditory, tactile materials that do not require what? Any projection or technological devices. So unlike the projected aids that could require what? Electricity. This particular what? Aids. These non-projected aids, they really don't require what? Electricity. So these tools are manually presented and are directly visible or accessible to the audience. They are commonly used in face-to-face communication, group discussions, and public awareness campaigns, and are especially suitable for low literacy world and rural populations. Can you actually give me a very good example of these non-projected aids?
A megaphone.
Like town criers.
Okay, town criers, yes.
Posters.
Yes, posters, yes. Which represent the visual, yes.
I would say fortune tellers.
Fortune tellers?
Oh no.
No.
Radio.
Radio?
Masquerades. Can we say masquerades?
Yes. Yes. No, radio will be more of a projected.
Projected,
because,
yes.
yes.
Radio is a projected.
Yeah. Radio can be here. So yes, those are actually very good examples of a non-projected aids. I would say that they are commonly used in face-to-face communication, group discussions, and public awareness campaigns, and are especially suitable for low literacy.
Okay, charts and graph, are they part of them, sir? Charts and graph.
Is that, yes, charts and graphs, yes. They can form part of what? Non-projected aids. Yes. So the types of non-projected aids, we have visual aids, we have graphic aids, we have printed materials, we have demonstration aids, and then writing what? Boards. Like the what? Blackboards and all of that. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so all of these visual aids, visual, those are the physical things you can actually see. Like the what? What?
Like the big board.
Yeah. Then the graphic is the printed, maybe books, pamphlets, and all of that, demonstration aids.
Posters.
Yeah, posters,
yeah.
and then writing boards. All of that form what? Non-projected aids. Any question?
Sir, please, what's an example of demonstration aid?
Okay, demonstration aid is actually, you can actually use a demonstration aid to maybe practically, maybe demonstrate to people what you're talking about.
Like
Do you understand?
protests.
Eh?
Like protests. Can it be?
Okay,
No.
Sorry, can it be like a drama, short drama,
Yes,
or
it can. Yes, it can. It can actually be a form of maybe a drama, or maybe if it is maybe you're talking to farmers, and then you want to show them how they can actually carry out a particular farming technique. You can actually project that physically for them to see. You demonstrate it. Eh?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
For example, like the previous regime, like Otom regime, when he could not pay pensioners, and sometimes in Makurdi they could write on some banners and be demonstrating to the government house that should pay them their salary. Can it be like on a demonstrated?
Yeah, yes, exactly. The most important thing here is that you bring out, you try to bring out something very close to what you're talking about. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So that they can practically have an idea. They could actually see what you're talking about. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Excuse me, sir.
Okay, please. You are excused. Yes.
This
Please go ahead.
example that he gave, that a government was not paying pensioners their pension, and they carried placards and demonstrated. Is that supposed to be an example of demonstration aids?
Yes, it is. Why? Because they were using that. In fact, there were some pictures on that, on the placards also, to actually demonstrate to go. In fact, you could see where maybe somebody, because somebody was not maybe paid, was not paid pension for long, that became so slim, malnourished, and all of that. Do you understand?
Yes.
Are you following?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, by the time such pictures are maybe drawn on such billboards and all of that, it could be used for demonstration purposes. Do you understand? So it's actually a good example of a demonstration aid. Is that clear?
Okay, sir.
Yes.
All right. So what are the applications of this non-projected aids in human services? It can be used in the area of health education, counseling and psychological support, child welfare and rights education. You know, one thing we need to know is that, I told you communication can be found and expressed in all the fields, all the sectors. And so these non-projected aids can actually be used in most of these fields. It could be used in health education, in counseling and psychological support, for child welfare and rights education, for gender-based violence presentations, for community mobilizations. In all of these areas, these non-projected aids can actually be used. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So what are the advantages of using these non-projected aids? There is low costs and what? Accessibility. Low costs and accessibility. Can you actually compare this to, the projected aids?
What, sir?
In terms of low costs and accessibility. You know, we earlier mentioned that for the projected aids could maybe there could be hindrance in actually using them in terms of cost. When the cost becomes so high, one may not actually be able to actually access those aids. But in the case of non-projected aids, they are actually low-cost materials. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, the non-projected aids, you don't actually require maybe any subscription or maybe to pay for light and all of that before using. Then the second advantage is that there is no power or technology needed. No power or technology. You don't need light or very high technical expertise in using it. Then there is that advantage of portability and convenience. You can easily carry most of these things around. It could be adaptable to local context. As much as possible, you try to relate it to the local environment. As in the non-projected aid that you are using, you try as much as possible in bringing it closer to the environment so that it can be adaptable to the local context for people to actually understand. Then it promotes interaction. It actually promotes interaction because the people you are actually attending to, even if they have low literacy level, it will be easier for them to understand. As by the time they understand, they can actually, where maybe they have issue, they can actually give feedback so that you exactly know where there is an issue, where they understand or not, and then you can actually come in. Then there is an advantage for it is inclusive for low literacy groups. I've mentioned that earlier. Yeah, because the people here, even if they have low literacy level, you can conveniently use these non-projected aids with them. Then these non-projected aids could be what? They could be reusable. You can use it over and over and over, like the blackboard. If you are using the blackboard, you can use it, and then the next time you can still use, and the next time you can still. So it is reusable. Do you understand? Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. So let's proceed. So what are the limitations of using these non-projected aids? There is limited reach for large groups. There is limited reach for large groups. Unlike the projected aids that we said could reach large audience within a short period of time, this one, there is actually a limited reach for large groups. If the people are so many, the use of these non-projected aids becomes limited. Then there is less dynamic, they are less dynamic than digital aids. They are less dynamic. Once they are there, these non-projected aids, as you are using them, there is nothing you can't really maybe modify. You can't easily modify them. Unlike the digital aids or the projected aids. If you discover that a particular method is actually not working or giving much results, or people are actually not following, you can actually switch or combine the use of different visuals also. It is not the same thing with non-projected aids. Such that in most cases, if you are using maybe audio, it is just audio. If you are using visual, it is just visual. So it is actually limited in terms of being dynamic than the digital aids. There is intensive preparation. You require a lot of time in trying to what? Prepare these visuals. Do you understand? Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, you require a lot of time. If it is maybe some drawings, you really need to sit down, do some sketches and all of that. If there are so many, it means you really spend more time. Do you understand? So it requires a lot of time. Then there is the limitation of wear and tear. You know, as you are using it, over time, there is even though we say that they can be reused, but then there could be problem of wear and tear. Then literacy assumptions in printed what? Materials. Literacy assumptions in printed what? Materials. So here what we are saying is that for the printed materials, you may assume that, oh, the people can actually read what you have written down, but in most cases it's not so. So it becomes a great limitation in using these non-projected aids. So what are the best practices for using non-projected aids? You need to know your audience, use bold and clear visuals, integrate with verbal communication. You try to explain as much as possible. Try also to encourage participation by using models, flashcards, and charts as part of the role play or interactive demonstrations. Then there should be pretest materials so that you get feedback from community members before large-scale production, large-scale to use to ensure what? Clarity. So what we're saying is that you actually need to try maybe the use of those materials on some persons, just few, so that if you feel that it is actually okay, you can go ahead maybe to produce in bulk. Then use in sequence. You organize flip charts and flashcards logically to maintain flow and understanding. Now, if there is a chart that you are trying to present to the people, it should be logical enough. If it is something that actually has steps, take for instance, maybe in planting seed, maize seed, you don't just have to jump to go and show them maybe where they need to weed the maize farm. You need to start it from what? Clearing how they need to clear the land, till the soil and all of that before even maybe planting. So you need to take it in sequence so that they will actually understand. And then you need to maintain and store what? Properly. By the time you actually, after using this, you need to keep them dry, clean, and then keep them safe so that they can be reused in future. Do you understand? Do you
Yes, sir.
understand?
Yes.
So let's look at, is there any question?
Oh, no. I'm okay. How are you? Olebe.
Is there any question?
She's smiling. Have you spoken to her today? All right. This is what I want to hear.
Is there any question?
No, sir.
Oh, okay. So let's look at communication for problem solving in human services. Communication for problem solving in human services. So what do you understand by communication for problem solving in human services? We know that human services involve working with individuals, families, and communities in order to meet their physical, emotional, and social needs. So the most essential tools in the field of communication are helping people to actually identify, understand, and solve problems affecting their well-being. Do you understand? So what then is communication for problem solving? Problem solving communication refers to what? Dialogue or interaction aimed at identifying, analyzing, and resolving a concern or challenge. Do you understand that? Problem-solving communication refers to dialogue or interaction aimed at identifying, analyzing, and resolving a concern or challenge. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so what we're saying is that communication basically tries to look at engaging some persons, form of a dialogue, interacting with them. And what's the essence of interacting with them? So that you identify their issues, their problems, you try to analyze such problems, you try to resolve those problems and those challenges. Is that clear? Typically, this is being done in maybe customer care units in most organizations. Do you understand? Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So the people in the customer care unit in organizations actually employ the principle of what? Communication for problem solving. Because by the time you go there and you have an issue, they try to identify what the problem is. They now try to analyze the problem. And then they try as much as possible in resolving such a problem. So this communication for problem solving could be client-centered, it could be empathetic and supportive, it could be goal-oriented, and it often occurs in one-on-one group or community settings. By the time you go to a community and then you try to know what their issues are, what their problems are, you are actually engaging in what? Communication for what? Problem solving. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what are actually the key features? What are the key features of problem solving communication? There should be room for active listening. Then you need to be empathetic. There is room for clarity. There should be what? Feedback.
Feedback. Trust and respect.
Yes, trust and respect, and then it should be goal-oriented. You know, at the end of it all, you know, you have identified a problem. You try to analyze it. And the most important thing at the end of the day, that should be a goal. You should be working towards a goal. And the most important goal is that of what? Resolving such a challenge. So the problem solving communication should be goal-oriented in nature. Is that clear? Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So what are the steps in communication for problem solving? The first thing is you need to establish rapport. You need to establish rapport. You know, people in the customer care unit, like the banks, by the time you go there, the first thing they do, they try to establish a rapport with you. They can do that maybe with a smile and all of that. They try as much as possible to be welcoming and to make the environment so friendly to you so that you'll be able to open up to them so that they can be able to actually attend to your issues and at the end of the day, solve your own problem. So they do that by what? Trying to make the clients build that trust through the warmth they create, the respect, and then the confidentiality. As much as possible, there should be confidentiality when you are actually attending to maybe clients. You need to set a comfortable physical and emotional environment. I have mentioned that earlier. So the second step is you need to identify and define the problem. You need to identify and define the problem. What actually is the issue? What actually is the problem? Because it is only when you know what the problem is that you should be able to actually resolve it. Without knowing what the problem is, it will be difficult to actually solve such a problem. So use open-ended questions to explore the client's concerns. Don't be so rigid. Use open-ended questions so that the client will actually be free to answer and then express himself or herself fully so that you actually get a picture of what the person is talking about. Then there should be clarify the nature, cause, and impact of the problem. Yes, by the time the client actually relates what the problem is to you, you try to clarify the nature and what actually caused that problem. What actually caused the problem and how the problem can actually be resolved. Because it is only when you know what the nature of the problem is and you know the cause that you can now go ahead to see how you can actually resolve or solve such a particular problem. The third step is that you need to explore possible solutions, generating options that, okay, this particular problem can be solved in this. Try as much as possible to explore different avenues. Do you understand? Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, we are with you.
Are you with? Okay. Okay, then each option. Those options you have actually given your client. You need to tell your client, okay, these are the advantages of actually maybe going with this option. These are also the disadvantages of going with such options. So as much as possible, you make this known to what? To your client. Then avoid imposing decisions. Rather, empty your client. You don't need to impose any decision. Choose which option they actually want to go for. Is that clear? Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, we're there. We're all there.
We are here, sir.
Are you there?
We are hearing you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We're here with
Then the step
We
4.
are with you, sir.
Okay, step 4. Okay. All approach in actually solving those problems. So you really need to look at all of that. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Then you need to define roles, responsibilities, and timeline. Yeah, the role of you, the initiator of the message, and then maybe the role of the receiver or the decoder. And then timelines should be set that from so time to so time, this will be done, this activity will be carried out, and all of that. Also, ensure the client feels ownership of the plan. Don't try to impose the plan of events on the what? On the client. As much as possible, make the client to feel that he has ownership of such a plan so that he can work towards achieving it. Then you need to monitor and follow up the client. How successful has the relationship been? That interaction between you, the communicator, and then the client. It becomes important for you to actually, at the end of the day, assess to know if at all such a moment or session was actually impactful or not. Is that clear? Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Is there any question? Any question? Okay, if there is no question, we'll end our lectures here for today.
Okay, sir.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you
All
very
right.
much.
Thank you,
You're
sir.
welcome. Thank you so much.
Thank
See you
tomorrow,
tomorrow.
sir.
Yeah.
Thank you,
All
sir.
right.
Sir.
We wish there should be good network so that we start in earnest. Thank you, sir.
Excuse me, sir.
Okay. Thanks
Sir.
so much.
Excuse me, sir. I hope you drop the slide for us today as well. This one. Hello, sir. Are you there?
I think he has left. He's not online again.
He has left.
He's still online.
Okay.
But I will chat him, sir, to drop the note. Don't worry.
It's okay.
All right, we are ending the meeting now.
Okay, go ahead.